The chiefs of defense staff of countries of the West African sub-region, who are holding a two-day meeting in Abuja, paid a courtesy call on President Umar Musa Yaradua when he announced Nigeria's position on the military coup in Mauritania.
Our sub-region has made great advances in terms of peace and security, and democracy and the sustenance of democracy at great costs to our peoples and to our armed forces that cannot afford the hands of the clock to be turned back anywhere within the sub-region. Nigeria will not recognize and condemns any change of government other than through constitutional means. In fact, the African Union Constitutive Act has stated very clearly that the African Union would not recognize any government that has not come into being through constitutional means. And this very strong stand of the African Union expressed in the Constitutive Act is to ensure that we really forge ahead as African peoples and continent to ensure that the issues of peace, stability and security are taken for granted so that we face the issues of development that will address what our people are suffering in terms of poverty, disease, illiteracy, and indeed the wide gap in terms of realization and attainment of human happiness and fulfillment of the purpose and essence of life.
President Yaradua noted that no nation or sub-region can develop without peace and political stability, and observed that the backwardness, poverty, disease and general underdevelopment in Africa and the Caribbean countries, the least developed parts of the world, are a result of political instability and the lack of peace there in the last half a century. The president expressed happiness that West Africa now experiences peace and stability, and promised that Nigeria will continue to make its contribution to sustain the situation. The president also promised support for the establishment of the West African Standby Force, the establishment of a national army in Liberia, and the transformation of the diffusive militia to a national army in Guinea-Bissau. He paid tribute to the West African defense chiefs for their contributions to the peace and security in West Africa, and challenged them to continue to take the leading role in institutionalizing the cherished values of constitutionality. The chairman of the Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff of the West African countries and Chief of Defense Staff of Burkina Faso, General Ali Traore, briefed the president on their meeting and said the West African Standby Force is ready to be in place, but requested for expedited action on its civilian component, the police and gendarmerie. He also briefed the president on the situation in Côte d'Ivoire, which he said is now calm, with elections due to be held this November, and Guinea-Bissau, which situation there, he said, is calm. He paid tribute to Nigeria for past and continuous efforts for peace and security in West Africa. In Abuja, I am Muhammad Labo.